Hey everyone, welcome to my kitchen. Hola mi gente, bienvenidos a mi cocina. Today we're going to be making Cuban chicken tamales. Now there are many versions of this recipe, but this is how I like to make mine. So before you get started, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Okay, so let's begin. So for the ingredients, I'm using 2 chicken breasts. I'm using 3 ears of corn. I'm also using half a cup of tomato sauce, 1 cup of cornmeal. I like my masa a little bit drier, so I like to add more cornmeal. I'm using 1 onion, 3 large garlic cloves. I'm using half of a green pepper, red pepper. I may throw some ají cachucha in, which are basically sweet peppers found in places like Cuba, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, and not to be confused with habanero, which are hot Mexican peppers. I'm also using homemade sazon, sazon completa, and naranja agria, which is sour oranges. Okay, so I already washed my chicken, and now I'm removing the fat. So now I'm adding my dry seasoning to the chicken, and I'm going to add it to both sides. And you can add as little or as much as you want. I'm going to juice my sour oranges so that I can begin to make my marinade. And my marinade is just basically 3 sour oranges, 1 large garlic clove, and I'm using a mortero, which is a mortar and pestle in English. And this has been used in Cuban cuisine for centuries, and also throughout Latin America and the Caribbean island. So we're going to add our chicken to the marinade and let it marinate for about 1 hour. And while it's marinating, we are going to dice up our vegetables. To speed up the process, sometimes I add my vegetables into a food processor to avoid all the chopping. But being that I'm starting so early in the morning, I'm just chopping up because I have time. Next, I'm going to start cutting up my corn, and I'm removing the ends, and I'm removing the corn husk because that's what I'm going to use to wrap my masa, which is the corn dough. Now, traditionally in Cuba, field corn is used, and field corn is a more drier corn and less sweeter. I unfortunately cannot find field corn that often, so I use what I can find. And in the supermarket, they sell sweet corn. So fortunately, I can still make my tamales. Next, we're going to remove the corn kernels. And I'm using a bowl so that they won't fly all over the place. So now I'm ready to blend my corn kernels, and I'm going to add a little bit of water to this, and I'm not adding too much water because I like my corn mixture to be a lot drier, so I'm not going to make it so wet. Now my pureed corn is ready to be put into a bowl, and I'm going to add cornmeal to it. And as far as the measurement for the cornmeal, I'm going to just add little by little until I get the consistency that I like. And like I said before, I may be adding up to a cup of cornmeal. So I definitely have to add a little bit more cornmeal, and you don't have to add as much, but like I said, you have to make this your own recipe. So I added about a cup, I'm gonna say. And now I'm gonna start frying up my my vegetables so I can make my sofrito. So I'm just going to cook this for about 5 minutes until the vegetables get soft, and then I'm going to add in my chicken. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes and my sofrito is smelling delicious. It's nice and soft, and now I'm going to add in my chicken. So I'm going to cook my chicken for about 7 to 8 minutes, or until the chicken is done. And then I'm going to add in my tomato sauce. If you prefer to add tomato paste, you can add tomato paste. Okay, so now I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of tomato sauce. And if I feel that I need to add a little bit more tomato sauce because the chicken is a little dry, then I'm going to add a little more. But basically, I like to just eyeball my ingredients because you really never know exactly how much you're going to need. Okay, so now I'm going to start wrapping my my tamales. Now, these corn husks that came with the corn are very little, so I'm not going to be able to fill as much as I want. So that's why I have a bag of Mexican corn husks, because they are a lot wider and the corns are a lot bigger. So I'm just showing you the problems that, that you're going to face if you use regular sweet corn. Now, if you want to, sometimes I can't find Mexican corn husks. So I try to double up my corn husks and, do it that way. But the Mexican corn husks, I love them because they're a lot wider. It's not traditional, but again, corn is corn, right? So anyway, now to soften the corn husks, I'm adding hot water to it. I'm going to let this, the corn husk sit in the hot water for about 30 minutes to an hour and until it softens up. And if you want to speed up the process, you can put this in a microwave in a bowl with water, and you can do it that way. Next, we're going to add in our meat filling to the corn puree, and we're going to mix it up. And if you feel at this point that you need to add any seasoning, this is your time to do it, because once you make your tamales, you cannot go back and season them. So add as much seasoning as you feel that you need. Okay, so now I'm ready to fill my corn husks. Try not to fill them, and take the ends and flip it up so that you can make a little cup. You're going to fill the corn mixture into your corn husk. Then you're going to wrap it around again with another corn husk, and then close the top, fold the top down. So now we're going to tie our tamales up, and I'm using some twine, and you can find this at the dollar store. But if you can't find it, you can use strips of the corn husks and just tie them together and make a little rope. So now we're ready to steam our tamales, and we're going to steam them for about 1.5 hours. Now, I don't like to boil mine because it's soggy on the outside. And if you have a steamer, that will be even better. You can put it into a steamer and steam the tamales that way. But everybody does it different, and I like to just steam mine. So if you have a little rack to put inside of a pot, all you have to do is put the rack in if it's smaller than the pot, and add some water to the bottom of it, maybe about 2 inches of water, and you're going to cover it and let it steam for up to an hour and a half. And you're going to just check it periodically to make sure that the water doesn't boil down. I'm adding a little bit more water to my pot because the tamales are not ready and the water is running out. And you also want to flip the tamales so that they can be cooked evenly on both sides. Now for the moment that I've been waiting for. I'm going to try one out and let you see how the texture is. So when you're making tamales, you may get a different result every time. It all depends upon the batter. If the batter is too wet, it may take longer to cook than a batter that's drier. So today my tamales took about an hour and a half. And they came out perfect. They're firm. You can see the meat, the chicken, and the sofrito. But again, if you're making these and they take longer, you may, again, there's nothing wrong with it, just cook it longer. Depending on how big you make your tamales is how much you're going to get. And today I got about 12 with this recipe today. So again, you know, if you want a small tamales, make them smaller. If you want bigger tamales, make them bigger. And if any of you are interested in seeing how to make pork tamales, all you have to do is click the link in my description section and it will lead you straight to the video. Or you can wait to the end of this video and click on the video there. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. And if you want to see more content like this, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any recipes. And I have a Facebook group that you may want to join called Cooking the Cuban Way. And also stop by and check out my YouTube store. You may see something there that you might like. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.